Hey everybody, welcome to Car Biz Leaders Live. I'm Rachel, I'm your host, CEO of Royalty Logistics. I haven't been on in a while. I'm very excited for our guest today, Jordan Savage. First of all, he's got the most awesome last name on the planet. His email ends in 007. He's a stone cold killer and number one sales guy in Oklahoma. I can't wait for you to hear all about his success tips and secrets, and we'll have a great show today. So without any further ado, welcome to Car Biz Leaders Live, and I will welcome our guests. So let's do this. And I'd like to welcome Jordan Savage. Jordan, tell us all about yourself.
Hey, what's happening? Thank you, Rachel, for having me on the show. I saw you've had Shaka on the show. You've had my man Frank Cornetti on the show. I mean, those are some big dogs. So humbled to get to be on your show as well. I'm been in the car business.
To have you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Been in the car business 5 years. I had a lawn and landscape company for 20 years, and I pastored a church. So that's kind of my background. I kind of got into the car business by accident, which is most people, and thought I was going to do it for 3 months until this other job opened up. And in 3 months, I made more money than I would have made my whole year of the other job. And my wife said, "You should sell cars." I said, "I think I will." So been doing it for the last 5 years and love it. Love it. It's the best business in the world. Love taking care of customers and it's an honor to get to take care of customers and have them trust you with their car buying needs. Because I mean, next to a house which they buy, once or twice in their lifetime, you're the second most expensive purchase that they're doing. So it's an honor to get to serve people on a daily basis.
I appreciate that too. I think sales is all about giving good service at the end of the day. I mean, salespeople get a bad rap, and especially in car sales, I think salespeople get the worst rap. But at the end of the day, if there's a lot of genuine people out there that are willing to help people and serve people. And I think you come from that solid background. You owned your own business for 20 years. Tell me about, the ups and downs of that and how you translate that into your business now.
Yeah. So I did a lawn and landscape company for 20 years. And I mean, Rachel, you own your own business, it is not easy. It's not easy. Yeah. I had a number of people that worked for me. We did a lot of business in Tulsa, but it just, at the end of the day, I had guys that made more money than me. I would make sure that all my guys got paid and, bills got paid, and then I would take what was left. So, it's one of those things where, I've got 6 kids now. And so, I just wasn't, after 22 years doing it, I just finally one off season, I just told my wife, I said, "Baby, I'm tired." And she said, "Well, that's the only thing you've ever done." I said, "I know, I'm worn out. I just, it was like chasing payroll Monday through Tuesday. I would be knocking down business doors trying to get them to pay me for, it's a business where you do a lot of the work up front before you get paid." And so it was frustrating, having to feel like I had to beg for my money just so I could make payroll every week.
I can identify with that. I mean, times are tough for sure. And there's a lot of people out there that, 20 years, I think, is a solid run for any business. Yeah. And, I was just reading in Forbes magazine, just how like the ups and downs of businesses go. And like now there's so many things that have been happening, especially with COVID, that it's just like unbelievable. But the car business seems to be doing well, and you seem to be doing awesome. So share us a little bit about your success so far.
So this as in the midst of a pandemic, I have car guys that reach out to me all the time. They say, well, I mean, all the manufacturers shut down, so we have low inventory. They make excuse after excuse after excuse of why they're failing and why they are sucking and whatnot.
Mhm.
I had a record year this year. I hit my year to date from last year back in July. So had a record year in car sales, and that was, there's times in the month where we got down to having 3 trucks on the lot. But you know what? Something that Ollie Reed and Frank Cornetti and a bunch of guys that are studs in this business kind of shared with me was sell what you can see. Don't try to, obviously people aren't dealer trading right now because there's no inventory. So sell what's on the lot, sell what you can see.
That's a good
and then and then if you my thing is Facebook. I do a lot of advertising on Facebook. I do a lot of free advertising, and I just took a job here at Jackie Cooper as a new car manager. And part of the allure of coming over, because people are like, why would you leave your gig? You're killing it. You're selling tons of cars.
Yeah.
Why would you do it? And honestly, I told them no for 9 months. They were after me for a long time, and I told them no like 3 weeks ago. I said, no, I'm good. And it was the thing that finally got me was the idea that, hey, we want you to mentor other salespeople and get other salespeople, even if you could get them to half the level that you're at or whatnot. It could change these people's lives. And so for me, that kind of got to where I got excited about it. So I've been here a week now, and they had me teach a couple classes with the salespeople, and I was shocked at how many people don't use Facebook. They don't use Facebook marketing. They're not on Facebook. When I actually asked my class, I said, how many of you are using Facebook? And none of them. They all said, none of them. I think one guy was like, kind of. I said, you're missing out on free advertising. It's free, for me, that's always been my slogan. It's just free. It's for me. And so, if you're consistently putting out good content, I'm going to have to plug in right here. So I'm going to move it because it just popped up that I got 10% and I don't want to lose you. But if you continue to add good content and valuable content, and I tell salespeople, I said, man, all you got to do is get on Facebook and do stuff that people are going to relate with. One of the biggest Facebook posts that I got that got the most views and the most likes and people going, okay, was I did a post one day where I said, the title was, don't buy a car from me. Why would a car guy write a title, don't buy a car from me? Well, then I did Facebook Live and said, here's the deal, guys. If you want, and I started giving all the nightmarish, situations that customers go through. Hey, if you want to sit at the dealership for 7 or 8 hours and drink stale coffee, don't buy a car from me. If you like to have them change the price on you 4 or 5 times and you're still not sure what the price of the car is, don't buy a car from me. If you want to run around and feel like your arm being twisted and feel like you're being bullied to buy a car, don't buy a car from me. But if you want the easiest car buying experience, if you want no pressure, no hassle, if you want to find out why people call me #the nicest guy in the car biz, come see me here at Ferguson. At the time I was at Ferguson. And so for that, it was one of those things where it's like people would watch it and they got tons of people were like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. That was clever. So yeah. So
I love that idea. And I think it takes creativity. There's so many, I follow a lot of car people, obviously. And, I think there's a lot of stuff that works. I do think that we need a way to change it up a little bit. And I think the more people get creative with their Facebook marketing instead of just the same old, like I cannot, my thing is like, I cannot watch another person drive to work on a Facebook Live. I can't do it anymore. Don't do it while you're driving, guys. Pay attention to the road. Please. I'm trucking.
Guilty. I've done more.
But I think that I think taking the time to be, really creative and reaching out to people to educate them and to really my thing is like, how can we make people laugh? How can we make it an enjoyable experience? How can I connect with you in a way that makes me want to spend time with you? Because at the end of the day, like we're building a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what this business is about. It's relational. People want to buy from somebody that they connect with. And that's what I've been trying to instill with my guys is, hey man, people are gonna buy from those that they trust. If you can go make a friend, that's going to sell a lot better. It's easier to sell to somebody that you don't have to convince. That's something that Ollie Rita, shared with me. He's a good friend of mine, and he said, you know what? He goes, a number of years ago, I just got to a point where I was out of the convincing business. I was tired of the convincing business, and I wanted to be in a relational business where I only want to sell to you if you want to buy from me. It's way easier to sell. People trust you when you. Because I know you have the best interest in mind. So, for me, that's what I'm trying to help my sales guys and girls do is to do that relational selling. Because at the end of the day, if you make a friend, you're going to sell a car. So,
yeah. I wanted to talk to you. I've been thinking a lot about mindset and trying to stay positive. This is like, I don't know about you, but right now it's like 43 degrees and overcast in Michigan, and it's dark, it's gloomy, it's dark already here. And, I just wanted to know like how you stay positive. What are some of the things that like get you going every morning? Like, what's your like?
So what I do is like, I try to get up early. I try to get up early. I try to, being a pastor for a number of years, and I try, to read my devotional. I'll do a little praying. I'll pray for my family, and I try to get my mind right. Something that kind of impacted me. I got to go through I had a privilege of going to a Pinnacle Society meeting back in September where they had, Ollie Rita and Jonathan Dawson and Frank Canetti and some of the top 30 sales guys in America were invited to this. And one of the things that impacted me was, one of them said, you know what? I try to be the most positive person in the room. If you can be the most positive person in the room, you can help change, other people's mindset. Because in this business, it's all about mindset. At the end of the day, if you're not selling cars, it's because something in your head is distracting you from that. A lot of guys, if we have a deal that goes south or it goes awry, they can get in their head and almost get in a cave is what I call it. It caves them. They're like, and then, they start focusing on that, and then they become timid and intimidated to talk to the next customer because of they got told no on the previous one. And the word that has always stuck out to me is the word next. Next. Right. If I have a bad deal or I have an issue, I say, next, let's move on. Let's put that in the past and let's look forward to the next one, because that's the only way that you can stay positive. This is such an easy industry to be around negative people. There's a lot of negative people in this industry. Yeah. There's a lot of when you're surrounding yourself with negative people, it's easy to become negative yourself. So, that's my routine in the mornings. I just try to, spend some time with God, spend some time to myself, and I pray over my dealership, I pray over my kids, my family, pray over my people, and then I go to work, and when I drive to work, man, I'll listen to some positive music. It's something that gets me fired up, and I get a little playlist, but it gets me fired up, and I get here and I'm ready to roll. So I'm ready to.
I think you need your music.
Yeah.
I definitely think you need your music for sure. You got to get in that zone. You got to get it going. You got to get energized. Yeah. You talk a lot about God, and I know that you're a pastor person. I want to take it deeper for us today because, sorry guys, we're getting a little deep. Yeah. But like as this whole COVID thing has kind of taken flight, and I've lost a lot of my business and had to go through so many changes in my own experiences and stuff like that. But I think it's my relationship with God that has helped me like sustain. And I feel so blessed. Like I was just thinking about like how grateful I was. There's so many people out there that are in such a not as a good situation as we are. And so I'm very grateful for that. But what is, what are how does that like help you? Like, how do you derive your energy from that? Or where do you say it? Is there anything like
It's
really
powerful.
important to you?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's something that, I've had a lot of people I've interviewed, had a lot of people interview me because they always want to know, hey, what's your secret sauce? What's your secret success? And I
Mhm.
always tell people, man, it's because I walk in the fog. And they always say, what's the fog? I say, I walk in the favor of God. And
Mhm.
it's one of those things where I know that I'm not the most eloquent person. I know that I don't have the best closes. Shaka Dyson is a closing
Mhm.
master.
That's
So is
good
Jonathan
stuff.
Dawson. Those guys are closing masters. I don't have that good a skill set, but you know what?
Mhm.
Because I walk in the favor of God, and because I pray, and because I pray over my dealership, and because
Mhm.
I walk my lot and I pray when things are bothering me. That gets me in a right mood. It gets me in a right frame of mind. And so when I am talking to customers and when I am talking to people, it's almost like there's they feel the presence of God. I was doing a training class last week with a bunch of the salespeople, and after I got done, like a couple of sales guys came to me and they said, "Man, I know this is weird to even say, but I felt like I was in a church, and I was like, I felt the presence of God." And they were in a car dealership, and I said, "Man, I know I got my preach on, but that's how passionate I am. That's how passionate I am about helping people and helping people be
Yeah.
better and helping people be the best version of themselves." And that's having that in my life
Mhm.
is one of the biggest reasons why I've been successful. It's
Mhm.
because I know that I can't control stuff. I can't control the world. There's a lot of things I can't control, but that I can control. And
Mhm.
so when there's times when I'm stressed out, or there's times where I'm frustrated, I just pray. And it's amazing how something just get walking the lot and praying can get me back in the right frame of mind. And I'm not perfect by any means, but I know that I can be a light to others. When people see that light and people see that
Mhm.
energy, and they see that passion and that excitement, like when I sell with excitement.
Yeah.
I love people. I genuinely love people. I love to, love the products I sell. So I get excited about it. I'm the guy that yells across the showroom, "Great news!" Because for me, I scare other people. They're like, "What the heck?" My people are always laughing in my office, and they're like, "Why are people always having such a good time?" And I said, because that car buying should be fun.
Right.
There's so many people that are so stressed out. They would rather go get a root canal at the dentist than come buy a car because
Mhm.
of bad experiences. I just try to change that negative, persona, one customer at a time. So if you can do that, like I said, make a friend, it changes things for you. So.
I definitely feel like there is a secret to having fun while you're working. I feel like I am if I'm having fun and we're laughing and we're joking, like the money just flows
It's
in
true.
and everything's flowing
It's
and there's
it's
like
true.
energy being created and like there is all kinds of good stuff going on. But if it's like, not like I'm worried about something or I just like all goes out the
No,
window and it's out.
laughter's contagious. Laughter's contagious, and positivity is contagious. Like I took a TO with the sales guy. There I am. Okay. But
Yay, back. It wouldn't
he's
be the
like,
first
this is not. Now we're back. Okay. Yeah,
time.
it keeps phasing in and
It
out. But
happens.
yeah, but he was like, this isn't a car deal. This lady, I think I've pressured her too much. She said she wants
Mhm.
to go home and think about it. I said, well, let me go talk to her. Let me go talk to her. So I went in there, instead of being about the car, I just said, hey, so you just made my sales guy pee his pants. It was hilarious. So thank you for that. You just made my day. And this lady starts laughing. She goes, serious? She goes, I know I was a little rough, but I didn't know I was that bad. I said, he just wet his pants in my office. It was awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. You just made my day. I just want to come meet you, and she saw my name, and of course, people
Mhm.
are like, hey, is your name really Jordan Savage? I'm like, yes, it's Savage. I promise you. I was born that way. I'm a savage.
I know
But
it's
but
very Hip, by the way.
But yeah, thank you. People think like I created that. I'm like, no, that's important. But I went in there and she's like, we started talking about less than, and we started talking about this and that. Next thing you know, she's like, she's laughing and she's like, all right, let's do the deal. I'm like, come on, rock and roll. Let me go make sure he's cleaned himself up, have him come back here and get you stuff. So when you make somebody laugh and she felt bad about she was being too hard on this poor salesman. So it's if you can make somebody laugh, make a friend. At the end of it, we're giving high fives, and she's telling me she's going to come bring me some chimneys. Which, if you're watching, I still want my chimneys. But I said, you're speaking my love language. You're talking about free food. You're talking about free food, man. That's my love language. So, anyways, if you have fun,
you have to. You walk around. They're huge. So like. You get your exercise there. You're going to work up an appetite.
Yeah, for sure. So, I love, that type of interaction, and she's like, this is, she left and said, this is the most fun I've ever had buying a car. And I'm like, that's what it's supposed to be. That means I did my job. So, that type of interaction is a game changer. And so many sales guys, I see them, I was actually did a little preaching this morning in our sales meeting. I said, listen guys, there's a lot of you, the biggest mistake that I see most salespeople do is whenever they go to get a pencil from the manager, they'll sit in the chair by the manager's desk and they'll sit there for 10, 15, 20, sometimes even longer. That's time you should be getting to know your customers. That's time you should be interacting with your customers, getting to know their life, getting to know, what their kids are like, whatever it is. That's a time where I would go tell my managers when I was selling, I would tell my managers, hey, here's all the details you need to know. This is what they're doing. I'm going to call me when you're ready. And I would go sit down with them and I would talk to them. By the time we were ready for the pencil, sometimes they'd have to page me 3 or 4 times because I was laughing so hard with my customers. I'm like, have such a time, and by then, you show them the numbers and you're more of a advisor, which one do you want to go with? You like the 60 months or 72 months? It's not even about, are we going to buy a car? It's not buying a car. I just got to figure out what monthly term we want to go to, so it makes it, like I said, if you're selling to friend, if it turns into where you're making a friend, you're going to sell a car. And that's been, my biggest success is doing that. So
I think there's a lot I don't know. I just recently developed this. It's called anxiety, a little bit more so than I've ever have. I think it's a rite of passage for women my age. It's called the panic attack. I don't know, but you may know. You have a wife with 6 kids. But
it's a pack about 6 o'clock every night. When are you gonna be home?
Get home now.
Get home now. I've been with this baby. I got a new baby too, so it's like I've been with the baby 12 hours. You need to call him. He's yours.
You have a baseball team at home. Seriously, good for you. But I mean, I don't know how anybody does. I don't know how anybody does it. I have a beautiful son. He's 11 and. And he's right here with my puppy. He's interrupting me. But, it's just one of those things where, I think people are afraid to open themselves up a little bit now. I think that they're guarded and you can get past that fear and get into that, be uncomfortable. That I think that's where people are going to be really successful. And I believe that to be wholeheartedly true.
You have to get past that. You have to tear down those walls because customers always come with walls up from bad experiences. The car business has a negative persona about it. So they come in with the walls are up, their dukes up red. And if you can break through that wall and make a friend, and be real with them. People are looking for authentic, and if you can be authentic with people, it goes a long ways. And that's something that is not everybody can do it, but if you can do it, you're going to be great. And that's the key. The guys that are selling, Ollie and Frank and those guys are selling 100+ cars a month. It's because they are selling it to people that want to buy from them, and have such good relationship and
yeah.
rapport with these people. These people just buy whatever they tell them to buy because of that relationship.
Yeah, and they're very genuine, and and these are the top sales guys in the world, everybody, just in case. And they're just, we were talking about it earlier, just like their machinism and their precision. But I think at the end of the day, like, you know, they have that expectation, they have that experience. And as long as you keep, you know, all these things that we had talked about today on the show about the positivity and, you know, just see what you could, you know, sell what you can see. And, you know, I loved our conversation today. It was definitely good.
Well,
Give us some final tips of success, my friend.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're not advertising on Facebook, you got to get on Facebook. The great thing about what I did that took me to another level was I branded myself within brand. If you haven't read Sean Hayes' book, Build a Brand, you need to get it. But I branded myself within the umbrella of the dealership. So it didn't matter if I went to, you know, a different dealership, people still knew me as Savage, hashtag the nicest guy in the car biz. You know, I just did Savage, my last name, because nobody remembers my first name. So I have customers, you know, that I mowed their lawn for 20 years that would be like, hey, thank you, Justin or Joshua or Jason. You know, and nobody ever remembers Jordan. So, but Savage, everybody remembers. So I just said Savage, hashtag the nicest guy in the car biz. I branded that, take pictures with my customers, put the branding in there. You know, it's something that consistency with doing that, making those posts, doing Facebook Lives that are adding value. You know, at the end of the day, people don't care about the car that you're selling. They want to see what type of tip, what type of thing you can tell them that they know about the car buying experience and how you can help them and add value to the content. So that's what I try to do. And, you know, it got to a point where, you know, I was producing 10 to 15 car deals a month just off of Facebook. So if you're not using that, then you're missing out. You're missing a free marketing, free advertisement. So that's what I've been trying to get my team to do that. So it's a big deal. So if you can do that, have a positive mindset on a daily basis, walk into work, try to be the most positive person in your dealership in all scenarios. Man, I promise you, you're going to sell cars. You're going to be successful. I tell salespeople, if you ever have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, I'm always here for people. That's my passion, is helping sales guys be better and helping sales guys and girls, salespeople take their to the next level. Because, you know, I was talking to my sales team. I said, hey, if some of these tips that I have been showing you that I've done that may help me be successful, if you guys did some of that stuff and it helped you get another 3-5 deals a day, how much would that save your, you know, how much would that change your life? And all of them were like, well, that'd be life changing. You know, that would be more money. And I know exactly. So do it. You know, I've done it and I've been successful about it. So, you know, and I'm showing you all the stuff that didn't work. This did work. So do it.
Yeah, I've had my failures. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of, but that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about it, is that we're learning and we're trying something new. How do people find you?
Yeah. So we're at Jackie Cooper Nissan. We are off of 98th and Memorial. I literally grew up a mile away from here, so I feel like I'm back home. I'm a mile away from my old stomping ground where I grew up, and so we're in South Tulsa. We are in the mile of cars, so we got car dealerships all over the place, but it's a very busy street. But we're at 98th and Memorial. We got some fantastic deals on Nissans, and man, come see what people call me the nicest guy in the car biz. I promise you, it's not just something that they made up, and you're going to come in here and be like, that guy's a jerk. I promise you. No, we take care of our customers here at Jackie Cooper.
I know. That's okay. Listen, guys, it's been a great show. And we lost Jordan at the end, but he really is the nicest car guy in the business. And here he's back. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for a great show. And Sorry, we're having a little bit of internet issues, but what's new? It happens. We're still doing it. Thank you so much for being my guest today. It's been an amazing show. I've really learned a lot from you, and I hope that we can stay friends for life. So,
Yeah.
Jordan, seriously, you really are the nicest, and I'm so grateful to have you. So, honor interviewing you today.
Thanks, Rachel.
Again. Appreciate you. All right.
Yeah.
And here we go. Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.